I'm getting to these little tiny projects that I've been thinking about doing for a while. This rustic sink, I really like it. There's just some repairs I have to do on it. During my really cold winter, this froze and it broke open there, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to, I don't know if it's weldable or not, but I can put some JB weld on it or something. But this design of a faucet I really liked, so I want to try to keep using it. And then there's this little spot where it kind of crumbled up because there was a bottle sitting there with some water, and I think it just was moist, and then when it froze it just kind of, naturally broke apart. And then there was this part. I was always thinking about this because as I was using this sink, I always needed a place to just put some things like just soap or whatever it is. And I initially put this part up here for to support the legs. And so I put this stretched metal over the top just for kind of just to put something there decoratively, I guess. But I think I'm going to make it a little more functional because I think what I could just do is just rearrange it so I have a shelf instead of just a piece there. I have to take advantage of the space that I could use back there. And then I had another idea for other kind of a shelf down there too. So, and then this project with the I believe this is like a polyurethane finish. It's clear finish. I have a ton of this stuff, and hard surface floor sealer. Looked at the direction or what it could be used on. It was for like concrete and stuff. So basically it's a sealer for pretty much any floor, I think. It was the same sealer that I used on this, and it looks really good when you see the seal on that. So it works really well, concrete and metal, and gives the nice little shine to the finish. Show you what I'm doing in case you ever run into this repair. Basically this is just Portland cement. I didn't mix anything else with it just besides water. And this little repair spot, I kind of moistened it up with a little bit of water, and that's what helps the bonding. Sound like a professional, but this is, I don't really know. I just watch videos on YouTube. That's all there is to it. Let's try to get the air bubbles out of there. I wanted it kind of soupy just to get into the cracks and such. probably good enough. Actually, it looks better than the rest of my first job there. So when I'm finished, I'll let it dry just a little bit. Then I'll just take a wet towel and just kind of brush it up a little bit, kind of skimming the top of it. I needed it to blend in a little better with the rest of it because this was just looking too smooth, and it kind of cleans up around it too. So I don't want it to look too good for rustic stuff. Oh well, it's a little conversation piece if someone who notices that. There's a story behind it. On these windows, I'll show you how they were constructed and put together. It's pretty much like the ones I repaired. The ones I repaired are slightly bigger, a little taller. Basically, it just has a hinge, a couple hinges down there, and so it just opens like this. And so I'm just going to do the same thing for now. I'm going to upgrade my windows later. Just got to get something better that's going to go in there. So these are the ones I repaired. You could kind of see it's angled at the bottom slightly, and that's for the angle right here. So this, I guess you call it a sill or a window thingy. So it has an angle on it so the water goes out. I'm going to modify a few things. Waterproof this, of course. Gonna have to redo this, I guess the molding. I don't call it brick molding on a window, but it's and this is where it seals put the seal on there, rubber seal or something. Pushes up against that, so just kind of redoing it, so there's not much to this one. Definitely needs a lot more in-depth repair, but we're just going to get it sealed up this winter. So this normal frame that the window had before, I just took these boards out on either side, and these are the studs. So they're exactly, I think they're 20, like a good 24 inches on center or something. But it is just wide enough for my repaired window to go in. And it is kind of a tight fit. But it is just wide enough. So, and then I have to modify the top a little bit. But that's pretty much it. There's not much more modification than that. And I have like this ancient planer that I was going to use on just on the very edges of these, just to get a few millimeters off, just so it's not so snug and tight on that. Open the window a lot easier. And then on here, I think there's just this top plate, whatever it is, raise it up a little bit. So I might have to make some molding. Other than that, I think I'll keep the rest of it. The sill part of it, bottom part, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to probably paint it with a kind of a decking paint that's waterproof, and that might help seal it up. So looking at this on the outside, it doesn't look that bad. I took those crappy, rotten molding around it. So that's encouraging to see that. So I just have to figure out how to get this stuff off, cut it up a little bit higher, and we should be good to go. Repaint some stuff like I was talking about. So to get this top plate out of there, I basically just used my metal cutting blade on that and just cut it off, those nails, because they're nailed in that way. I wasn't going to mess with taking off the other stuff to get it to it. So I might get my really long blade for my Sawzall and just kind of do a little cut up there. I went ahead and put my repaired window in there just to get some good reference on where I need to cut up here. It's very snug on there, but it does fit. I used that planer on there. It worked like a charm, so thanks Bob again. I may just trim it down just one more millimeter on each side and we'll have it easy slide in there, but not looking too bad. This will give me an exact measurement reference right where I need to cut. So well, that's what it's going to look like, more or less. I'm going to make some new window trim for that, but there you go. There, fixed. I'm gonna take a look at what it's gonna kind of look like. Looks beautiful. I think it does anyway. Maybe I'm just excited because that's the first time doing it and it's working, so. So I got some of this white porch and deck polyurethane. So I figured it'd be tough enough for windowsill here. Might as well use it. Alright, that's about all I can do for today. I knew I had to get some kind of waterproofing, seal it on there, and just keep the future in mind because I'm going to be covering this with other kind of siding. So, but I at least needed to get this part in, and then once it dries tomorrow I'll put the window in, and then I'm collecting some of these boards from the front garage door just to replace the trim that was already in there. So I'm just kind of copying what they did. So the final framing on this window, I'm just basically taking pieces from my front garage door. It already was, basically has matching paint and everything on it, so just kind of cut it to size, and it'll just go around here just like that. And then the window will actually will have hinges, and it'll just like push up against the framing. I'll put some kind of a rubber foam seal on that part of it. So that's how it works, this window. Kind of a simple idea. We'll get a quick shot of this just so it makes sense. On the old stuff, they had this board right here, plus another little trim board on top. So that's what I'm going to do next, I think. Let's get a little skinny piece of wood and just go right over that, and I think that's what seals everything. I'll go over everything with caulking and stuff. So alright, I think that's it. I put the side where I repaired the window, when I put the glazing on the outside, and I looked on my house, and that's how all the windows were. The glazing was on the outside. So alright, on the inside, so the only attachment that it had, just these. That's it. Get those in there, and then I think there was a mechanism that locked it up in place. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, the final touches on this window to get it in. I just had to put this top part of the frame in, and I used the same board that was there before. And here's the nails that were where it was nailed in before. Cut them off. And so I basically just moved it up, so it's pretty simple. Had to peel back the vapor barrier, and then I just used a couple screws to get it back intact there. Just enough space, maybe a millimeter of space clearance, so this window can just come down. I have to shave that off a little bit, but that is it. And then I do have to figure out a little clip thing. So those old windows that I got, I'll have to try to figure something out for that. It's kind of a weird angle there that I need to figure it out. So here's a finished product. I do love these windows. Like, I slept here last night, and it was kind of frosting up with that classic frost, you know, that you have in windows during Christmas time, and that's what it reminded me of. But that's pretty much what it's gonna look like. I might do a few finishing things there, but I just really like that. I'm probably just gonna leave it as it is. I just really love that old look to it.